What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp, back with episode 170 of Room Tour Project, the series where we show off some of the best gaming setups to give you some ideas and inspirations for your own setup. If you see anything you like, I'll have it all listed for you in the description down below so you can check it out. But let's start it off episode 170. Starting off, we have Issac with a really nice single monitor setup, utilizing extra pixels with an ultra wide, and as I always point out, he really ties the setup together, bringing out that purple wallpaper with some RGB light strips that also pop that purple drink. His monitor is a 35-inch ultra wide from Asus, again mounted very nicely, and on each side of his monitor are his Audio Engine A5 Plus speakers. Into some of the rest of his audio gear, he has the Mastrap and Sennheiser HD6XX headphones with the modded Monoprice M1060 headphones, and they're both sitting on a headphone stand from Silverstone. Definitely some nice choices. Then as for his peripherals, he has the Corsair K65 Lux RGB keyboard with the Final Mouse Air 58 that he modded to make black and added a different paracord on there. They're both on a Cooler Master MP510 extended mouse pad. And you can see that macro pad in the back. That's the Max Falcon 8 RGB. I got a video on this coming very soon. Now over to the PC. Inside is an Intel i7 8700K CPU with the NZXT Kraken X52 AIO on an Asus ROG Strix Z370F motherboard with 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance LPX RAM and an EVGA RTX 2080 Ti hybrid GPU, all inside the Corsair Crystal 460X case, also utilizing that purple kind of glow. Then right next to his gaming setup is his entertainment center with a nice 40-inch 4K TV from Samsung. Got some cool kind of custom gaming prints, and I'll translate right over to the prints above his setup. All ties it together really nicely. Just really digging the end result here. I think it looks really great. Nice and simple as well with a single ultra wide. Next up is Pedro, and this one isn't a gaming setup. I'll say that right off the bat. It's a really nice workstation, and it definitely ties together those natural setup kind of vibes. He's rocking two LG monitors. They're both different models, but they're each 27 inches apiece. And I like how he kind of went with that iPad Pro wallpaper there with that kind of like splash kind of look to it. Definitely fits in with his setup's kind of tones and the color scheme he has going on. And I like that really light wooden desk too. It's a nice contrast to that darker backboard behind his monitors. Checking out his peripherals for his keyboard, it's the KBD67, and he has Kale Jade switches with XDA R1 keycaps, and the Logitech MX Master 2S mouse with a little Nomad leather mouse pad. Got some notebooks, keeping it all very simple here, and some custom black AirPods it's looking like. And as you can see behind his right monitor, this entire setup is being run off of his 13-inch MacBook Pro from 2018 with the touch bar. He's got it all docked up so he can come home and have it like a workstation, then when he's heading out, unplug and take it with him on the go. So like I said, not a gaming setup, but I still really like this. I really dig the overall aesthetic here. It is a very warm and cozy kind of setup too, and I love the addition of all the plants around. Really brings out some of those lighter tones, the more earthy tones in this setup. Now we've got Grimheart, and again, very simple. This isn't the simple and clean edition like we do, that'll be next week, but this is gonna fit in right along with that. It's just, I'm telling you guys, I feel like the more I do this show, I'm not saying I'm not taking, credit, but I feel like I'm putting the clean, simple vibes out there, and it's been looking good. And I know in the grand scheme of things, in reality, I have zero influence on the whole setup game as a whole, but you get what I'm saying. So checking out his gear, that is a 34-inch LG ultra-wide, that 34UC88, and on each side he has mounted his Fluence AI60 speakers in the white and walnut finish. Digging the light strip behind the desk, and there also seems to be some sort of light bar underneath that shelf above the desk to kind of give it an even glow all around, which looks pretty cool. As for his peripherals, he has the Logitech K750 wireless keyboard paired with the Logitech MX Master mouse. No mouse pad, no cables, again, keeping it all simple. And now we'll check out the PC. This is the Corsair Graphite 760T case. Inside an Intel i7 6700K CPU with the Corsair H115i AIO. Got 32 gigs of Ballistic Sport RAM and a Gigabyte GTX 980 Ti graphics card. Not the cleanest, most eye-catching build, I'll admit, but then again, you take a look back at his desktop and he doesn't have it on display, so this is probably on the floor under the desk. Hopefully it's being propped up so it's not being suffocated with dust, but
Regardless, it's still a really nice setup. It's clean and symmetrical. I dig that wooden desktop, and you got it right by the window for all that natural ambient lighting. Good stuff from Grimheart. And now is James, and I swear guys, this is not a theme. I feel like this is supposed to be one of those clean, simple editions, but it's just, we're just getting some good submissions. What can I say, you know? This one is like a very cool all-white kind of futuristic kind of aura to it. I don't know, they got the nanoleaf panels, the all-white soundproofing foam, the all-white peripherals, and I mean, come on, this is definitely pretty cool. So checking it out, for that single monitor, it is a 34-inch LG ultra-wide, a 144Hz panel. But checking out his peripherals, because he has a lot going on. He has the KBD Tofu keyboard with Zelio switches, a Leopold FC660C keyboard, the Logitech 305 mouse, and a nice white extended glorious mouse pad. That little kind of geometric figure there is for controlling his Nanoleaf Aurora panels. And for audio, those speakers are the KEF LSX speakers with the ZMF Zerite in pheasant wood headphones. And there's a ton of crazy gear powering his audio stuff. He has the DNA Stratus Tube amplifier, the Cord Dave DAC, tons of other crazy things. But then we're going to get into that PC. As you can see off to the left side, all this expensive gear is sitting nicely on that rack. Inside this is the Intel i9 9900K CPU with the NZXT Kraken X72 AIO. Got 32 gigs of the G-Skill Trident Z Royal RAM on the MSI Z390 Godlike motherboard, an MSI RTX 2080 Ti graphics card, and this is all in the Fantex Enthoo Evolve X case, one of the nicest cases out there. So damn, this is you know he's an audio head, that's for sure. All the high-end gear, some really nice choices, and all that white soundproofing foam. And for everything going on, it's pretty well organized and not too cluttered. All the essentials, all the gear he needs is right there. Nothing's out of place. Then lastly, we have the Salman Show with 3 monitors, you know, the TIE Fighter kind of orientation as I call it, the massive overhead, and of course it wouldn't be complete without some Nanoleaf Aurora panels. That's looking like a very wide desk, lots of room to fit all the gear he's got going on. Checking out his displays, his primary one in the middle is a 34-inch Asus ROG Swift with the 2 on each side, the vertical ones being a 27-inch model from BenQ. Then we have that 65-inch Samsung TV as that overhead. Down to his peripherals, I know it's kind of hard to see what he's got. We have the Razer Huntsman Elite keyboard with the Logitech G503 mouse. That's what he wrote, but I assume he meant G502. Easy little typo. And that's on the Razer Goliathus Chroma extended mouse pad. And then for audio, he has the Astro A50 gaming headset, place for the PS4, and a charging cradle for the controllers. And he also has the Razer Noma Chroma speakers. And then we'll get into the PC. It's the NZXT H500i case. Inside we have an Intel i7 8700K CPU with the NZXT Kraken X62 AIO, 32 gigs of G-Skill Trident Z RGB RAM, and an EVGA GTX 1080 Ti graphics card. Tons and tons of color going on inside the case. He also says he has an Alienware R5 laptop with an i9 CPU and the 8950HK graphics, but that also wasn't pictured. But I dig how across the room he has kind of like this little just chill space, some couches, kick your feet up, read a books, kick back and relax. I can dig this. So a pretty nice setup that I think is just taken to the next level by that crazy, awesome, huge desk he has. I don't know if it's like a custom desk, but I think the geometric kind of angles it has going on literally spans the entire width of the wall. And having those Nanoleaf panels behind the TV gonna give the room kind of like that, you know, gamer look that you might have been going for.
Alright guys, that'll wrap it up for episode 170 of Room Tour Project. Hope you enjoyed, and check the description down below. I'll have all the gear and hardware you saw listed down there for you, as well as some very simple instructions on how to submit your setup. So if you think your setup is better than the ones we showed off today, feel free to submit. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Well, I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.